All right, welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be talking about this whole KSI slash Misfits boxing situation going against the zone. I'm going to do this all in one take. I think I can do it all in one take and just explain, pros and cons and what are my thoughts at the end of the day about this whole, situation which KSI kind of expressed over the last couple of days, or I should say at least one post in the last couple of days. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, KSI made a tweet saying along the lines of, uh, very disappointed with the zone about leaking fights. This isn't the zone's first rodeo in leaking fights. Just to give one example of this, they leaked the Misfits 15 main event between El Brook and Paige Van Zant. And obviously that ruffled some feathers, especially, Mams Taylor speaking about that situation and obviously not wanting to have that fight leaked because he obviously wanted to announce it and make it kind of a surprise to everyone at the end of the day about that fight. And now with Misfits 17, it got leaked that HS Tiki-Taki will be fighting on the card, going against George Fensum. I'm not really familiar with the fighter, but HS Tiki-Taki, though, someone who Misfits has been hyping up about for the past 6 months. And so obviously trying to make, a grand reveal of who might be fighting, on that pay-per-view card, right? And getting HS Tiki-Taki. Obviously wanting to do it in some sort of, good fashion for the fans. And, now obviously that's kind of ruined just because, like I said, DAZN, maybe it's a miscommunication or they just don't care. I'm not really sure. I will lean towards the miscommunication, but I get it. This happened once, but if it's happened more than once, I understand Misfits' frustration at the end of the day of, why they're, you know, they kind of got to get their shit together. Maybe it's I'm gonna just play all aspects of this. It could be both sides of they, they just both got to communicate better. That's either one aspect or the zone is messing up within all within all this, and they just are not taking priority of Misfits as a company. What I want to go further more into is the pros and cons if Misfits were to leave the zone because KSI said something along the lines that he's already getting, starting to get fed up with the zone, right? As a company. Here are my thoughts about this, right? I think the zone as a product, production, and kind of like the stuff that you don't see on camera. The zone does a very good job with budgeting. There we go. They take care of the budgeting. If Misfits or Mams, he's expressed a lot of the times that they're not in any bankruptcy. They don't have to owe any money, nothing like that. They have profited in all events. And I'm assuming, obviously Mams has to submit a card and they have to approve it under a budget. That's props and Misfits on that aspect, to kind of keeping it in a certain budget for per card. So I think that's personally it's that um and and just the platform of that company are the two big things that really help with Misfits with what they've done throughout this journey of Misfits boxing underneath KSI's company. The cons, though, I'll say the pros of them leaving. Pros of KSI and Misfits leaving them would be there would be more unfilteredness. I think, since I feel like in my opinion, right, Misfits is under a certain, how do I say it? Since they're in a corporation company, they're obviously not as flexible into doing what they want to do in terms of promotion. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally think that if I'm just going to be honest here, a lot of Misfits fighters they don't promote. You know what I mean? There's a very few who do it. And but just to play, I don't want to obviously exclude everyone out of this. Let's just play, a different side of this equation, right? Maybe to the fighters who cannot get on Misfits, maybe because corporate company, whatever, and they want to promote in a certain way, but they can't because of the zone. If I To those influencers who want to get in and they can't because of let's say DAZN's corporation type of company, that would kind of help in terms of that aspect. They would get more freedom in terms of what they want to budget per event and kind of on that aspect. But again, they would have to they're gonna leave like a very reputable network, which is kind of the bad side with it. But I feel like the other aspect which actually really helps Misfits out in this one is I think personally the big if I have to name the biggest reason on why they might have a miscommunication outside of leaking fights, because that's obviously annoying on their aspect, it's maybe the announcement of the cards. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a like, I'm not really too deep into the scene to know all the, behind the scenes, you know what I mean? I'm just taking a guess as a fan of influencer boxing. If I have to guess on, another big issue, it's the announcement of cards. I think personally, Misfits and Mams and KSI, they would love to announce fights, a lot earlier than maybe just 4 weeks before the date. Instead of, they want to announce it, probably a lot more ahead of time than they've been doing recently. And if I have to guess on why that has been happening, it's maybe because of DAZN. I I don't see why Misfits would want to just announce it 4 weeks before, unless the zone gives them permission to. You know what I mean? So I think that's like it kind of goes more into the freedom aspect of, can like into Misfits' company. They don't. They probably would want, if they get out of this zone contract, they would have a lot more freedom to announce cards, etc. But yeah, I mean, listen, that's my thoughts. I think at the end of the day, it's it's pros and cons about this whole the zone misfit situation. I understand Misfits' frustration at the end of the day of them leaking fights. I think, yeah, that is annoying, to be fair, especially since, I mean, in my personal opinion, the scene is not at the best place right now. I feel like, if they've done everything very slow, and like if it doesn't get leaked and they kind of build up to, these amazing announcements, I feel like it would be better. But obviously, since, hell, I was hearing something, or I saw a tweet. I want to shout out Prob, uh, with this one right here, right? He said something along the lines of a tweet that, someone anonymous as a DAZN worker would tell him the fights, before getting announced, and he stated one is the temper replacement, and it's just stuff like that is ridiculous. Like, if you're working for a company like that, you shouldn't leak stuff. I'm talking about from the employee standpoint. Don't leak fights like that. It kind of it would ruin it for, Misfits in this example on on fights that they want to have in the future. Because if everyone else knows about it and then it gets announced, I mean, the excitement wouldn't be there, as if no one knew what's happening, and then boom, they announce it. So, yeah, overall, I mean, listen, pros and cons. That's how it is with, every situation you ever get into, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, hey, listen, if you guys like this video and want more videos like this, please subscribe for more videos. I am actually super close to getting to 1,000 subscribers. I believe I'm 60 subs away. I'm at 940 or 930. I don't know where I'm at specifically. But yes, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.